There's a project at the UW Law School called the Legal Assistance to Incarcerated People. It serves prisoners dealing with life-limiting or terminal medical conditions by campaigning for compassionate release. It's one of only a few clinical legal programs in the country that deals with this issue. The project assists Wisconsin prisoners with post-conviction legal support in a wide variety of areas, but the project stepped up its services for compassionate release clients when Professor Renagh O'Leary joined the law school faculty back in the summer of 2018. So what is compassionate release? Well, under Professor O'Leary's supervision, law students have been working to demonstrate that their aging and sometimes very ill clients meet provisions for early release under Wisconsin statute. So what does this do? Well, Wisconsin's prisons are overcrowded and care for the sickest inmates is often lacking due to shortages of trained staff, medical resources, accommodations, things of that nature. That means inmates who pose little threat to public safety often suffer needlessly in their final days. Compassionate release basically gives these clients a chance to die with dignity outside of the prison walls. And aside from the ethical arguments, there are some pragmatic reasons that this can be a good thing too. The number of older Wisconsin inmates that are in deteriorating health is growing pretty rapidly too, as I think Professor O'Leary will tell you. Incarcerating sick people is significantly more expensive. Close quarters and the scarcity of hygiene products makes prisons pretty high risk settings, really, for the spread of infection. And of course, this is especially important during this pandemic where we have really seen a pretty rapid rise in COVID-19 cases in our prison system. It's an innovative and relatively new way to address some of the issues in our prisons that, frankly, most people don't even consider. Renagh is here with us today to accept her award. Renagh, thank you very much for being here and congratulations on your work.
Thank you so much, and my thanks to the State Bar Association. It is really an honor to be in such illustrious company today. So as Tom mentioned, I teach in a clinic at the UW Law School called Legal Assistance to Incarcerated People. That's part of the Remington Center at the UW Law School. And speaking of innovation, I think the creation of the Remington Center in the mid-1960s was an incredible innovation. There is no other law school anywhere in the country that matches UW's commitment to serving people in prison through law school clinical programs. As Tom said, our compassionate release advocacy is done by our fantastic, enthusiastic, and zealous clinical students. Compassionate release is early release from prison based on a serious or terminal medical condition. So all of our compassionate release cases begin with a life-changing diagnosis. Diagnoses like metastatic cancer, advanced heart disease, or end-stage kidney disease. In our compassionate release work, we've represented people as young as their early 20s and people well into their 80s. Some of our clients are serving relatively short prison sentences of just a few years, and some are serving sentences of decades. They're in prison for many different reasons, but what all of our compassionate release clients share is that they have received a life-changing diagnosis while incarcerated, and they're grappling with the immensity of that while they are alone and isolated serving a prison sentence. Something that our clinical students always find surprising and revealing is that even among lawyers who work inside the criminal legal system every day, judges, prosecutors, defense attorneys, there's often little knowledge about the realities of prison, about the day-to-day, how life unfolds while people are serving prison sentences. In our legal system, we have lots and lots of lawyers involved at the front end when someone is facing criminal charges, and many fewer lawyers involved at the back end when someone is serving their prison sentence after their direct appeal has long been resolved. Part of what I think is most valuable about compassionate release work is that it brings our clients' experiences of prison back into the courtroom and puts their stories and their experiences in front of decision makers who are making sentencing decisions every single day. And as our state and our state bar continue to reckon with the crisis of mass incarceration and the profound racial disparities and injustices of our criminal legal system, I think supporting work that brings lawyers and law students into prison where they can hear the stories and learn from people who are incarcerated is really, really important. So thank you so much to the State Bar for this award.